What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Draft Hub. In today's video, we will be continuing our 2026 NFL Draft Prospect Profiles. Today's prospect profile is about Tennessee Volunteers star cornerback Colton Hood. If you are new to this series, I'll explain to you how it works. I dive into the prospect's strengths, areas for improvement, scheme fit, 3 to 5 team fits, pro comparison, and overall draft projection. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. But this prospect profile is a collaboration with my good friend Josiah from JWAC Gridiron. I will leave the link for his channel in the pinned comment. Check out his channel because in my opinion, he is the gold standard of NFL draft content right now. Now, let's take a closer look at Colton Hood.
The first thing that really stick out when watching Colton Hood are his measurements. He checks all the boxes you look for in a starting boundary corner at the NFL level, coming in at 5'11", 190 pounds. And I think he has really good length to go along with it as well. We know more than other positions that cornerback is one that measurements matter a ton. And while I think some people might knock the fact that he's not 6 foot, I think Hood has more than enough size to hold up at the boundary at the next level. As a coverage defender, I really like what Colton Hood brings to the table, and I think he has a very good skill set that can play in a variety of different schemes at the NFL level. In man-to-man coverage, I think Colton Hood has the fluidity you look for. He's explosive, he has really good movement skills as a whole, and he shows excellent physicality in press. I think he can stop and go on a dime, and his hips move so well laterally. I also love the fact that Hood doesn't bite on double moves. He's very disciplined, and I love that. But in zone coverage, this is where I feel like Colton Hood shines even more. I think he's an incredibly smart and disciplined coverage defender. He knows his zone assignments very well, he reads the quarterback's eyes, and I thought he showed good instincts to cover vertical routes from zone coverage. He's a smart, heady defensive back that I think can play in a man or zone scheme at the next level. I also really like the ball production we have seen from Hood throughout his career. Hood has a knack for the football, and if the ball is thrown in his direction, he's going to make a play. He's got 3 interceptions and 8 pass breakups throughout his collegiate career, and on top of that, he's allowing just a 50% completion when targeted, which is a pretty impressive number for a college corner. I love the explosiveness he has to the football. I think he's got excellent closing speed and the high football IQ to make splash plays on the ball, even in zone coverage. Lastly, I really like the motor in particular as a run defender that Hood shows. While I think there are some deficiencies there, Hood is a really nice downhill threat with great power in his tackling. He brings the boom as a hitter, and he shows good range against the run. There are multiple plays on tape where he is going from sideline to sideline, snuffing out outside runs. I really like that ability in his game, and I like the willingness to even make a play against the run.
Colton Hood is such a unique defensive back prospect, with phenomenal coverage tendencies. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a few areas of his game to be concerned about when projecting him to the NFL level. First, and this is something that JWAC and I both discussed that we saw, Hood appears to be more quick or explosive than he is overall fast. While Hood can probably run in the mid to high 4.4s at the NFL Combine, it seems to me that there is no second gear, especially while running vertically down the field with opposing wide receivers. This could potentially be the reason for my next concern, which is in man coverage, Hood tends to get grabby when he feels like he is initially beat off the line of scrimmage. Instead of trusting his recovery speed, it almost seems like he panics and just relies on holding the opposing wide receiver. While some of these calls might get missed at the collegiate level, I don't think Hood will be as lucky at the NFL level, as he already has 4 penalties called against him so far in the 2025 season. As my good friend stated before, Colton Hood can really lay the boom as a tackler, and also displays some great range, blowing sideline to sideline, sniffing out outside runs. The problem I have is Hood's overall technique. In terms of metrics, Hood has cleaned it up so far in the 2025 season, with just an 11.4 missed tackle percentage, way down from last year, where the former Colorado Buffalo missed a staggering 36.4% of his tackle attempts. In space, Hood attempts too many arm tackles. He stops his feet and lunges at the ball carrier, rather than keeping his feet moving and driving through the ball carrier. Perhaps this is due to a lankier frame or lack of functional play strength. But as long as he continues to trend in the right direction as a tackler, he should be okay at the NFL level. When discussing Colton Hood's projection to the NFL level, it's important that we look at what scheme would maximize his skill set. Hood is an interesting case study because he offers so much as a coverage player, but as a run defender, he needs a lot of coaching, as we previously discussed. I do think that a scheme that prioritizes coverage over run support from their defensive backs would be best. A zone scheme that mixes in some man-match coverages would fit Colton Hood's unique skill set quite effectively, in my opinion. The 5 teams that I think Colton Hood would be a perfect fit for at the NFL level, in no particular order, are the Los Angeles Rams, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
My player comparison for Colton Hood is Jacksonville Jaguars cornerback Greg Newsome II. Newsome is a really solid player who has shown the ability to play in a variety of different schemes and alignments at the NFL level. He has played both inside and outside during his tenure with the Browns, and while I like what he shows at times in run support, Newsome is a guy that has really struggled to consistently wrap up, very similarly to Colton Hood. But what Newsome does have is physicality, zone IQ, and the overall feel in coverage to play in both man and zone. I think Hood has a lot of the same traits that Newsome has for Jacksonville, and I think he can have a very similar impact to your defense in the way you can move him around the formation, and I think he can be an impactful player no matter where he's lined up.
Overall, in my opinion, I think Colton Hood is one of the most unique defensive back prospects in the 2026 NFL Draft class. He displays some real shutdown abilities in both man and zone coverages, and his ball skills and instincts make him one of the best in a wide-open cornerback class. In the right scheme, with the right defensive backs coaches, I think Hood can be a starter in the NFL for the next 10+ years. A special shout out to my friend Josiah for pulling up for this collaboration. He is the absolute man, and if you enjoyed his evaluation, please throw him a subscription. When it's all said and done, I do think that Colton Hood will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft.